Are you kidding me? You junked us, man. What are you talking about? I have not been called Ronnie Reprehensible in so long.
Weeks.
Last week. You took my line, damn it. Exactly. Last week. Oh.
Ronnie Reprehensible. That does have a ring to it.
It does.
Enjoy the great decades of music, fun, and banter with R&R. Weekdays 1 till 3 here on KPFT.
Dysfunctional is what we do.
This is Susan Darrow, your host for Border Radio, Monday through Friday afternoons from 3 to 6. Right this minute, you are listening to KPFT Houston, 90.1 FM, and kpft.org.
Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Firm. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas obtain parole and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. For more information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, you can find it at the website, parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
Listeners should be aware that the following program contains language and audio images which may be found disturbing and may not be suitable for your snotty-nosed little brat who probably cusses like a sailor behind your back anyway. Parental discretion is advised.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you. Visiting hours next week. Mama ain't been doing too well. I'll tell you more when we speak. And Billy's loving high school. He's out there blocking for JV. I'm sure he's gonna come around by the time you give a least. Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know.
It's time to holler down the pipe chase and rattle them bars, because we're going to do a prison show for you right here at beautiful old, historic old, exciting new KPFT Houston, from the heart of Montrose, where we all hope tomorrow will be a better day.
I can see your freedom. I will hold you once more. The men with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This ain't my love. It's Friday night. The inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's Prison Radio. Prison Radio.
And welcome to the Prison Show. Tonight is Friday, July 19th. We had some good news at the beginning of the week. Ruben Gutierrez, who was scheduled for execution on Tuesday, the 16th, received a stay of execution from the Supreme Court, which is rare. Very, very rare. So we are very happy for his family and friends. And just FYI, it's a 90-day out. If they issued another execution, it would be 90 days out from the day that they issued it. So we're happy for his family and his friends. So that was awesome to be a part of. Also, yesterday and today, 85 to Stay Alive, a day of mourning, standing in solidarity with those who are incarcerated and their impacted family and friends. They held 2 days, an event, panels, vendors, jobs hiring, everything was there. A mock cell exhibit where you can be inside the cell and feel what it's like for those incarcerated. Though the cell was there. Pam Perillo, who was formerly on death row, she was at the event. So hopefully that event went well. Of course, I unfortunately have to work. I'm not independently wealthy. I have to go every day. No. But I would have loved to have been there. Great event. And speaking of great things, Brian Hicks with UTMB, he's a nurse manager, has a video out about tattoo removal program. So they have a tattoo removal program. He mentions that it's for individuals getting out of the gang life or just wanting to get those tattoos removed. So I didn't listen to the whole video, but they also mentioned it at the summit too. So that is some great news. And if you didn't hear about it, there was a Microsoft outage today. It affected a whole bunch of things, including airports, you name it. So TDCJ applications were unavailable, one being the e-com system. I tried today several times to get a package for one of my friends. Couldn't do it. But hopefully over the weekend that will be taken care of. Now, of course, tonight, David, Linda, and I are in the house. Linda's sitting next to me.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, she's sitting next to me. We're going to have a great show. David has a great show lined up for us. Mary Sue Molnar, the executive director of Texas Voices for Reason and Justice, will be on. Marci Marie, social media influencer and community outreach coordinator, Lioness Justice Impacted Women's Alliance, will be on a call. They're both calling in, and so is Abraham Bonowitz, co-director and founder at Death Penalty Action. So, David's lined up a jam-packed show for us tonight, as usual. Don't forget, if you're listening and want to do a shout-out for your loved one, the number here is 713-526-5738. Option number 2 to speak on the air. Get in line and speak on the air. So, we have Mary Sue Molnar on the line. How are you doing, Mary Sue?
Hey there, I am doing well, thinking about the guys in that heat. It is so hot. I'm in San Antonio. It's really hot over here.
Yes, they've... You know what? I don't understand how some of them can handle it in some of those units, get to 120.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, I really tip my hat to the folks working on the 85 to Stay Alive issues. I think it's really needed. This is the United States. We're not supposed to have prisons like that. It's just ridiculous.
Absolutely
not. We've been staying busy. The legislative session doesn't begin till January, but now is a good time to start, talking with legislators and talking about bills that we want to see or bills that we expect will be filed and that we'd like to kill. So Texas Voices organization, we work on common sense laws and policies for people who have sex offenses. So if you're incarcerated and you have a sex offense, we're the group that you would call when you get out. We don't do a whole lot of work within the prison system. It's more of the work we do when you get out. And we're working on quite a few things. We are opposing some of the parole restrictions. They are denying housing right and left for ridiculous reasons. Actually, I think I saw you guys at the PDCJ Summit in Austin.
Were you there?
I was there.
Oh,
Some of our
you should have
Yeah,
said
no,
something.
I saw Mary Sue.
You know,
I said hi
I
to
saw
her.
David. Yeah, I saw you, David. I meant to go up and talk to you, but I had a bunch of family members that showed up, so I was super busy trying to find the right people for them to talk to. You know, the parole voters and the wardens and, all of the different issues they had. And these people had never been to a summit, so I was just running my tail off trying to make sure that they got to talk to whoever they needed to talk to. But it was a little disappointing to me that not all of the officials were there. I think I much prefer when they had it once a year, and it was in Huntsville, and everybody was there because the parole board chairman, David Gutierrez, wasn't there.
No, he wasn't. No,
the parole division director, Renee Hinojosa, wasn't there. There were only a handful of wardens there. And, years ago, before COVID, when they would have this once a year, all of the wardens were there.
Yes.
And then the parole voters, there were only, 5 or 6 of them there. And so that was a little disappointing because some people travel a long way to get there, and they want to talk to who they want to talk to, But,
absolutely.
Other than that, we did okay. It's kind of difficult for me because when I talk to the parole division, they seem to have an answer for everything, and the answers are kind of ridiculous, to say the least. But we did get some things done, and some of our family members got some things done. So we did that.
Anything important that you want to share?
Not really. I mean, we've been fighting this bus stop thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're denying parole for people if a school bus stops within 500 feet of their home. Well, school buses stop everywhere. And this includes neighborhoods. Even if they stop in front of a house to pick up 2 kids that live there, they will deny. And we're saying, you guys have gone too far. This is way too far because there is no place where a school bus doesn't stop. And we know of a halfway house in Houston that's been there for years. And last month they had to shut down because one of the schools decided that they were going to put a school bus stop, and it was 400 feet from the home. And the restriction is 500 feet. It was like 422 feet. They didn't even grandfather the guys in and say, y'all can stay there, but, we can't have any new guys here. They just told them all they had 14 days to leave.
Did you manage to speak to anyone at the summit about that?
I did, and I also spoke to people at the Sunset Commission about that. I had a meeting there on Wednesday with the Sunset Commission.
Really?
So, yeah. I mean, this is just ridiculous. It's already hard to find a place to live, and then to give some, these were 9 guys. They were situated, they were settled, they were working, they were doing everything they were supposed to do, and they get a call saying, you have 14 days to leave. And, I didn't just hear this from the guys. I called the owner of the house because I couldn't believe it. And he's like, yeah, they sure did. He said, I guess I'm just going to shut this place down because the only people he accepts are people with sex offenses. And it's sad. I mean, but that's the way it's been going. I mean, we're just throwing so many barriers at people. Either we want them to re-enter or we don't. And it appears that they don't.
That's what it's now, I have a question for you. If someone is convicted twice for sex offenses, 2 different separate occasions, do they automatically get put in a civil commitment?
No, they do not. It's not automatic. Actually, anyone and everyone who has more than 1 count, even if it was at the same court date, if you have more than one count, they will give you an assessment for civil commitment. And then the people that come out, very, very high risk are the ones that they will civilly commit. And it's not a very large percentage of people, but, any percentage is too much, especially when you've already done your time.
Right.
But, yeah, even if you've only been, it's your first time in prison and you have 2 counts, everybody with more than 1 count gets that assessment.
Okay. Someone had asked me about that, and I really wasn't sure. So I'm glad I asked you.
Yeah, I think that someone who had been out or who had one offense and then was convicted a second time for another offense would probably have a little better chance of being civilly committed. But, I don't know that as a fact. I know everything depends on the assessment that they do.
Right. Oh,
So we've been working on the parole thing, the bus stop issue, and we're already getting our lining up some people to help us out because we know that more residency restriction bills are going to be brought forth this coming session. So we're trying to get ready for that. And we're working on getting a driver's license bill filed. I got it filed last session, but it didn't make it out of committee because it was taken to committee really late in the session. So I'm going to try and start early this time and get somebody to file that for me and file it early and get it moving early so we can try and get that one through. It's just a strange little click that people on the registry have to renew their license every single year, their driver's license or their ID, and they have to go in person. And there's no reason whatsoever for them to have to go every year. So that's the bill that I'm trying to get filed again. I believe that the legislature at the very beginning, which was during the 76th legislative session, they thought that the information from the driver's license office would go directly to the registry. But then when all this got going, they figured out that that's not how it works. So nothing from the driver's license office goes to the registry. When you go register at your registering office, that's where the information gets sent to the DPS website.
Oh,
so there's no reason for them to go every year in person to the driver's license office. And believe it or not, I had a meeting with DPS, and they said they have no opposition to the bill.
Oh, that's great.
So I think I got a good chance of getting it filed and getting it through. So a lot of work, but you have to put in all kinds of work just for one little bill. The less work that you give the legislative office, the better chance you have of them filing it. So you have to have all the answers when you get there. But we stay busy, that's for sure. And if anybody out there has family members, if you are incarcerated for a sex offense, they are welcome to look us up. Our website is texasvoices.org. We have contact information there, or you can send us a letter, P.O. Box 23539, San Antonio, Texas 78223. And that's Texas Voices, P.O. Box 23539, San Antonio, Texas 78223.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on this evening. I was looking forward to asking you that question because I did, like I said, someone had asked me about that.
Yeah. We get letters all the time from people. They're nervous about it. And I tell them, there's nothing, you don't need to worry about it because everybody with more than one count gets assessed for civil commitment. It's actually very few that get civilly committed. So it's not like just because you're having an assessment, you're going to be civilly committed. But that's just the way they do it.
Well, that's good to know. I know a few people are breathing a heavy sigh of relief there. Few that get. Do you know the percentage?
I don't know the percentage, but I know I think right now, and I may be a little bit off. Right now at the Civil Commitment Center, there are probably between 300 and 400 men, but you almost never ever get out. So that's not a lot of men. I mean, some of them have been there for years and years.
No, that's not a lot. That's less than what I
Bill
thought.
Hayburn hated that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do we. We just feel like, we've seen guys get paroled and then not be able to come out on parole because they civilly commit them. But we've also seen people that have completely finished their sentence. And that's the part that bothers me, because if you feel like somebody is that dangerous, you could have sent them there and let them serve their sentence there. Then when their time is up, when they're done serving their sentence, then they can leave.
Well,
wait till after the fact.
Or at least give them some kind of criteria to meet in order to leave. Don't just keep them incarcerated forever based upon their past.
Exactly. It's like, oh my God, I'm trying to help the folks, some of the ladies whose loved ones are in there, and the stuff that I find out is just unbelievable. But there is a little group out there working, and they're working hard, and they are bold. They are bold. They show up everywhere and speak out against it, and that's rough. It's hard to do. So we hope to see some changes pretty soon.
Well, thank you, Mary Sue, and we look forward to seeing you in 6 weeks, I think.
Thanks. We'll see y'all then. Take care, and wishing better weather for you guys that are on the inside. I can't even imagine what it's like, so I'll be saying a prayer for y'all. We'll see y'all soon.
All right. Thank you, Mary Sue. Oh, wow. Quick draw. All right. Hi, Marci. Are you on the line?
I'm here. How are y'all?
We are doing great. Excited to have you on the air tonight.
I'm excited to be here, and I don't think there should be any technical difficulties. I'm on my Starlink Wi-Fi calling and just stagnant. Yeah. Yeah. So happy to see y'all and be on the show. I just adore y'all, and I just thank you for your work and bringing information and hope to incarcerated Texans. It's so important.
Well, we appreciate you. So I saw where you were out in California.
I was in LA. I had a trip for Represent Justice. I got chosen to be an ambassador for them, which is a film making cohort. So I will get to make my own short film with their support, which is huge. I'm really excited for that. And I got to fly in a couple days early and visit with my friend Rosie, and we talked about some of our project plans, and she helped me with some ideas for my film and this other production deal we have going on. So, yeah, it was really exciting.
So can you give us a little hint?
Well, for there's 3 deals right now, right? So we have the Represent Justice. That's going to be a short film about criminal justice. It's going to be around women. It's going to be around women, pregnant women in prisons and jails and what that looks like. But my project with Rosie, so that's about my life after prison, right? So it's Rosie O'Donnell, so it's humorous, it's lighthearted, but it also has some heavy things to it. So it will show like my interactions with my kids and my family, moving into to become my grandmother's caregiver, and what that looks like in a lighthearted, humorous way, and then have some flashbacks to some of my experiences in prison, which are really kind of heavy. And so that's in the works. She met with the writers while I was there. My wife and I have recently gotten custody of our nephews, and while their mom's getting healthy. And so she's writing that into the script.
Oh, wow.
And so that changed things just a little. Yeah, so that was exciting. And then the other deal that we have, it's a competition show that I'll be hosting. And I can't really say too much more about that. I plant little hints on my social media, but I can't really say too much more about that at this time. And actually, it's just been picked up for 4 episodes. So when it comes out, I need everybody to pay attention and watch it. So they'll pick up some more episodes after that.
Well, we will be stalking your page, waiting for some updates, and of course, hitting that forward button and hitting that share button whenever we can to help you out.
Yeah, and we appreciate that. I see that you do that for lots of organizations that are doing good work, and I hope that you see that we're doing that in return for you, because it's just so important. We all have the common goal, which is to humanize people that have criminal backgrounds, that we are just people that either went down the wrong path because of circumstances around us or because of a decision we made, and then also to change the conditions for incarcerated people in Texas. And so I just think it's important that we work together, share each other's content, share each other's updates and posts, and y'all are so good about that. So I really appreciate that.
Now,
Go ahead. I was going to say I flew home from L.A. I was home for one day and then flew to Colorado. We had a Lioness is working with Texas A&M, sponsored by a grant from the National Hazard Center. We are doing some studies on how natural disasters in prisons affect mental health. And we got to present some of the work that we did at an international conference. One of our regional directors, Chanel Jones, was on a panel with these disaster people, right? With these people that have big educations and are experts in this field. Now, Chanel was an expert in Texas prisons and what it's like to be incarcerated when disasters do hit, and what kind of disasters and what that looks like. And we got to encourage people across the globe, because it was international. We got to encourage people to look at their prison systems and see what kind of evacuation plans that they had, and encourage city planners to work with DOCs. TDCJ is they're a little behind on that emergency planning.
A lot behind.
And so we learned that a lot of other DOCs are doing some really good things, and we just hope to continue the work here in Texas. And as this new legislative session comes up, that's, of course, one of the things that we're going to be working on. And then I got to come home for one day yesterday, I came home yesterday. I had the day off today, and then tomorrow I'm flying to Atlanta to be with Pamela Wynn and her organization, which is Restore Her. She's doing wonderful work for women who were incarcerated because of some kind of violence. Maybe they were in a rough relationship and their abuser, they fought back or something like that. And then also for women that have had children inside of prisons and jails. And so I'm excited to meet her in person and be with this group of ladies this weekend. I don't want to go over my time, but I definitely want to bring up what Linus has going on. We have an event coming up in Gatesville. Last year we did this same event. It was a candlelight vigil, and we worked with the community there in Gatesville. And for those of you that may not know, Gatesville is kind of the hub where most of the incarcerated women in Texas are. Now, there are a men's unit there. There's a Hughes unit, which is a very large men's unit, is there as well. And last year, we went into the community during the day. We visited with the community. We stopped at several businesses. We talked to people walking on the streets and visiting, and just, we kind of educated them about Gatesville and how Gatesville kind of has a dark history, starting with the children's school, the boys' schools that were there, and how can we heal as a community, and how can we overcome kind of that dark past, and also for staff as well. We ran into lots of staff members and lots of family of staff members, and fighting for humane temperatures. So we had after the visit with the community, we had a candlelight vigil honoring and remembering those many Texans who have fallen, who have lost their life to the dangerous temperatures inside of those prison walls. And not only were we remembering those and honoring those people, we were also standing in solidarity with the incarcerated population now that is still suffering in those harsh temperatures. And we're going to do that again, and it's on August 3rd, and it's going to be in Gatesville again at the Coryell County Courthouse at 8 p.m. You can look at the Linus Facebook pages or my Facebook pages, and the information is there, but it's open to the community. Last year we had families that had incarcerated loved ones. We had members of the community from Gatesville and lots of advocates as well. We had family that had lost their loved ones, and Representative Sherman is going to give opening remarks, and Reverend Joanne is going to lead us in a moment of silence that evening. Last year, it was just a beautiful evening of community, healing, and really honoring the incarcerated population. Just being with them. It felt like just connecting with them, and I just encourage anybody who's available to come out. Again, that's on August 3rd at the Coryell County Courthouse at 8 p.m. There's lots of times that I'm out here and living this life that while I was incarcerated, and I did 10 years, and I just remember I never dreamed my life would look like it does now. And so many doors have opened up to me, and there's times that in the middle of this kind of surreal moment of joy, I will have this ache in my heart for my sisters that I left behind, that I know right now in the middle of July are having a hard time taking a deep breath because their dorm or their cell is so hot, and I just think it's obviously it's more on our mind in the summer months, but it's something that myself personally, my wife, and Linus, that we fight for year round, like a lot of other advocates. And I just, if my voice is reaching any ears that are in there right now, I just want you to know that you're not alone inside, and we love you so much. And my heart is with you all. It truly is. And you have so many people out here, so many organizations, individuals that are fighting for you all every day.
Marci, we got a letter stating that we know a few organizations that donate water during the summer months. We got a letter stating that the incarcerated people do not get that water. Typically, it's the staff that grabs that donated water. Did you have any experience with this?
I absolutely did. In fact, I was on the Dr. Lane Murray unit, and Lieutenant Warren was my host squad boss at that time, and he took us out to the Pie building, which was a building, it's like a warehouse kind of, where they stored like laundry overflow stuff. Mm-hmm. And we went out to clean it, and there were these pallets full of bottled water. And we asked him, like, what are these waters for? And he said, when they had that water outage, somebody sent a bunch of water for y'all. And we're like, well, what, are we ever going to get this water? And so the next 6 months later, when we went back out to clean that pie building, it was that water, it had been picked through, like, that some of the top cases water bottles had been pulled out, but it was just there, not being put to use, not even the officers. I mean, it was just there. So that doesn't surprise me one bit, not the least. And, that's another thing. These prisons are built in these rural areas. The water supply is not great. There are often water outages in several of these prisons. And I remember being inside. I remember being in there in the summer months with no running water for days at a time, on top of the heat, and so that just doesn't surprise me at all. And honestly, sometimes we get a letter that we think, this might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but then when you start getting 2 and 3 and 4 letters, and then you start hearing stories from across the state that match each other, something's wrong. And that water situation, for sure, that happens. Absolutely, that happens.
Well, I guess nothing should shock me anymore. But, Marci, how can people get a hold of you?
So you can write me at the Lioness P.O. Box, and you can just put my name, Marci Marie, and then if you want to add Lioness, that's great, but it will go to our P.O. Box, and that's at 111 East 17th Street, number 12051, in Austin, Texas, 78701. And then if you're not locked up right now, and you're out in the free world, you can find all of my social media pages at www.marci, M-A-R-C-I, Marie, MARIE.com, and that will also lead you to the Lioness page. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear what's going on with your loved one, or if you're incarcerated, I would love to hear what's going on with you. And then we have to talk about the FCC, and I know you're wrapping this up, but the FCC did vote to lower prices across the nation. They put a cap on prices for communication.
Absolutely.
On phones and video visits.
Yes, I was going to talk about that later on. Yes, they absolutely do. So everyone, stay tuned. It's wonderful news.
Yes. So yes, it is, and I'll let you. It's a step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
So,
well, thank you, Marci.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on. I love you all, and shout out to my brother-in-law on the Estelle unit, Dustin Poporski, Little D. Please behave. Please do right. And this is my wife's little brother. So, yeah, thanks for having me on. I'll talk to y'all real soon.
All right. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Oh. I see David's doing it now. All right. Now we have Abe. Hey, Abe.
Hey, good evening. How's everybody doing down there?
Doing good. How about you?
Well, I'm exhausted. It's been a week, but I'm glad to be with you all. I just got done this afternoon driving 800 miles back from where I started last night in the field outside the prison in Atmore, Alabama, where Holman Prison is, where they executed Keith Gavin after refusing to give him a halal meal as his Muslim tradition, as he should have had in his Muslim tradition, and they also gave his spiritual advisor a big runaround, and got to meet him, Imam Aswan, and that guy is on fire to get involved in this work, having now he's been doing prison ministry for 20 years, but now that he's sat through all that went on in the last weeks around the execution that took place last night, he's just ready to go on working to stop execution, as happens when we all get touched by this. So, and I hope everybody is actually excited also. I'm sure you mentioned it already, but I'll say it about, it's always a good thing when you go to an execution and it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Ruben Gutierrez, who is still alive. If you can hear us, Ruben, we're just we're praying for you. We know how awful that must have been to wait till the last minute, 20 minutes, they said, before execution time, and he got another stay from the U.S. Supreme Court. It's trepidatious, I will say, because, they're still trying to decide whether to take the case, but at least that death warrant has expired, and hopefully Ruben is back on regular death row instead of death watch. I don't know how that works, but anyway, shout out to him. Shout out to him, to Melissa Lucio again. Shout out to Rodney Reed, who has gone back into, he had a couple of losses on issues a couple of weeks ago, if you didn't hear about that, but they are arguing more about his case in front of the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals in August, I think around August 8th or so. So that's coming up. So Rodney, you're all in our prayers, and we're really trying to do what we can to help your family get there to New Orleans to be in person at that argument at the Fifth Circuit by Innocence Project attorneys. So that's exciting. And more ugly news on the innocence issue. Just today, I think it was, news broke that this guy named Marcellus Williams, he's got execution in Missouri on the 24th of September, I believe, and he's got DNA evidence that shows he is not the killer in this case. And he actually has a case, an evidentiary hearing scheduled for September 21st. And I said August 21st, sorry. There's probably being exhausted coming through again. August 12th. And today, the Attorney General in Missouri filed a motion seeking to unschedule, to cancel that hearing, to look at whether there's evidence that shows that this guy is innocent before they kill him. And it's just an outrage what's happening in Missouri, as it's an outrage in everywhere that the death penalty is going on. But I want to say that people are showing up, and we need to keep showing up and to protest these things and let people know what's happening. I'm actually in the middle. I've got a couple more days in this cycle of travel that I'm in. I get to do a reset tonight. I'm actually going to sleep in my bed for a night before I get back out after being on the road for 9 days. I was in Washington, D.C. with Pax Christi USA, celebrating the work of John Zukovich, the outgoing executive director there, who's been a great champion of working to abolish the death penalty. Then I was down in North Carolina at the Wild Goose Festival with a bunch of abolitionists, including Pat Delgado from the El Paso Citizens Group Against the Death Penalty. She's one of the people that coordinates those folks in El Paso that stand out and do a vigil during execution time in Texas, as well as leaders from North Carolina, where they're working to get a governor there to commute all the death sentences before his term ends out. And we know that conversation is real. So it's really, everybody should go to the North Carolina Coalition for Alternatives to the Death Penalty webpage and give and take action there to encourage the governor of North Carolina to commute death sentences, because whoever is the next governor in North Carolina, if there's still people to kill, they're going to kill them. And we got a lot more ugliness coming up in terms of states, but I get to that in a moment. Also present at the Wild Goose Festival with us was the South Carolina group. And it was really neat last night on our, we do a live vigil during execution times, connecting in at the prison and all that. But the South Carolina executive director, Reverend Hillary Taylor, showed in Alabama, at the protest in Alabama, with 5 interns that she's training this summer. And they were there doing a tour of death penalty-related states. Showed up also at the vigil for the execution that was happening that night. And in South Carolina, we were waiting for the state Supreme Court to decide whether to allow the electric chair and the firing squad as constitutional methods of execution. And when they do that, that's going to set in motion resumption of executions in South Carolina. It's going to be bloody. We are looking at the possibility of a resumption of executions in Tennessee, in Arkansas, in Indiana, where they've just asked for a date, in Utah, where they have a date in less than 3 weeks now on August, I think it's August 8th or 7th, something like that. And that'll be their first execution in more than a decade. We're waiting for execution dates to be set in Louisiana, which has not an execution in more than a decade. Idaho is trying to resume executions. So that's the pattern that we're in. And it's important to recognize this because we are also watching, and that's another thing that we did this week, a press conference on Thursday we did around the Republican National Convention to talk about the Project 2025 plan. You've heard about this. You can look it up online and read the whole thing. But if you do that, page 554 is where they talk about the plan to increase executions drastically, to finish executing everybody on the federal death row, and to incentivize states to do more executions as well. And you can read that directly, and that's why we're encouraging people to make sure to write to the current administration, to President Biden, and ask him to do what he promised he would do to the extent that he can. And one of the things he can do unilaterally is commute all of the federal death sentences. That's about 44 people right now. He could take all of them and change their sentences to death by incarceration, which is also awful, but it's at least it's not execution, and we know that people can, especially if we find out people are innocent, and we know there's some innocent people there, that they can be freed. In any case, we're asking Biden to demolish the death house and to do a number of other things within his power, but he can't abolish the death penalty, as he promised to do, without a bill from Congress. Congress has to put legislation on his desk, and that's why there's the Federal Death Penalty Prohibition Act. And you can send a letter to your members of Congress, and whether you're a citizen or not, whether you're old enough to vote or not, it doesn't matter. If you live in the United States, these people represent you, and you just need a U.S. address to be able to send a letter to the members of Congress who represent you. And we're asking people to do that. Go to deathpenaltyaction.org and send a note to each of your members of Congress. It's super easy. It takes about a minute, and you can do that right from the front page of deathpenaltyaction.org. And that's encouraging Congress to pass the Federal Death Penalty Prohibition Act, get it on the desk of the president before he loses all of his faculties and has to step aside. Hopefully that won't happen at all. I'm being facetious when I say that, but I do, we're all very concerned about what could happen if the presidency is returned to Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't take a position, death penalty action's a C3. We don't take a position on political candidates, but we do encourage people to vote values. And if your value is not increasing mass incarceration and not sending more people to prison and not having incarceration camps for people that are not necessarily citizens, et cetera, then you need to think about that. And especially if your values are not allowing the government the power to kill judicially with executions, then, vote your values. That's what we're asking people to do, and know what is actually happening out there. And that's why I do encourage people, especially, go look at that 2025 document. It's there. It's proudly displayed at the Heritage Foundation. And there on page 554 is where they talk about what they want to do with the death penalty. So coming up, we've got executions set in a couple weeks. Arthur Burton in Texas, Tabaron Honey, first execution. It's August 8th in Utah, first execution in over a decade. And we're going to be out there working with folks. And then September 24th Marcellus Williams in Missouri. We talked about that. Travis Mullis in Texas. That execution be at exactly the same time if both of those go through. And then on the 26th, you've got Alan Miller in Alabama, which is the next return to gas executions. And finally, and also on the 26th, Emmanuel Littlejohn. Want to mention him because his case is kind of like Ruben Gutierrez in that he didn't kill anybody. His co-defendants killed somebody, and that guy actually got life, and Emmanuel got the death sentence. And we've got a campaign that we've launched, and that's another thing to find at deathpenaltyaction.org is a short video that lays out why Emmanuel Littlejohn deserves clemency and should not. And actually, he should be freed. He was offered a plea deal, and if he had taken that, he'd be free today. Instead, he's facing execution. So I know my time is running out. I just wanted to say how grateful I am for all that you all do. And blessings to everybody that's listening to this. And if you want to reach us, it's P.O. Box. It's Death Penalty Action, P.O. Box 89 in Ghent, G-H-E-N-T, New York, 12075. That's P.O. Box 89, G-H-E-N-T, Ghent, New York, 12075. And I know there's a couple people waiting for me for replies from me. It's on my agenda. I'll get to you as soon as I can. And any questions, David or Danny, thank you so much.
No questions. You've covered a lot tonight.
Everything.
Yeah. And we appreciate you and everyone. I was mentioning to David that everyone needs to, well, we were talking about it earlier, everyone needs to come together. If we all work together, then maybe we could do something for mass incarceration, the death penalty, whole bunch of stuff.
Amen. Well, I'm all about that, and whatever we can do to amplify that. I'm grateful that we all get to share the space there outside the prison, and especially grateful for all the folks that come out to be there protesting you and Gloria and Shabazz and Julie and everybody that comes out to be present outside the prison at the time of that execution. It's important that we do that and we stand up and just, every once in a while we're going to get a victory. And we just have to keep moving. So, and by the way, that's Melissa's prosecutor, the Ruben Gutierrez comes out of Cameron County also. And I have to say, I just want to say this, Melissa Lucio is still hung up in the system. It's crazy. But when you have a prosecutor, the county prosecutor, and the judge who signed her death warrant saying she should be freed and saying dismiss charges and bring her back so we can see if there's anything, and then they already know. And to his credit, Louis Sines, the DA of Cameron County, actually leaked that agreement, and he's the one that shared it to the media because he got sick of waiting for the judge to sign it. Melissa Lucio has been waiting. It was more than 16 months from the time that he was ready to ask the court to free her, and before that became public, and she still has to wait. It's crazy. So we're waiting to get you out. We're looking forward to you being free, Melissa, and I want to thank everybody that's been working on that and all the other cases. So make it a great night, everybody.
Thank you, Abe. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wasn't so quick that time.
No. It's like, wait a minute.
I got 2 mice over here and 2 keyboards. I grabbed the wrong mouse.
It's like, wait a minute. You were hanging up on people.
Yeah, I wanted to tell Marci because I think it's really important that the ladies know. I caught myself.
You got yourself.
That the ladies know that very soon and very soon, they will be able to hear their loved ones shout out to them because we'll be on the tablets. So, woohoo. We'll be reaching Gatesville.
Yes.
Actually, we'll be reaching a few states, I think.
Yeah, we'll be reaching a few people. Yeah, and we look forward to it.
Yeah, we've been trying to get to the women for a long time, and look, I didn't expect just to cut through to the tablets, but I mean that's a welcome news.
It is welcome news, and I'm glad that we did get a letter from someone regarding the water And I'm glad she was able to verify.
Yeah, I've never seen any water all the years I've been incarcerated. I know Sharon talked about donating a bunch of water, but where's it going?
Several organizations. I know people down south in a few years ago at Ramsey, they donated a ton of water and pops, the sugar-free frozen pops they donated.
I thought you were going to talk about sugar pom-pom.
Sugar pom-pom. Sugar pom-pom. I will be seeing Sugar pom-pom tomorrow. That's funny. But Anthony Ortiz, thank you. Thank you very much for that information. I hadn't thought about it. I just assumed
Maybe we can ask about it on August 6th.
August 6th?
Don't we have that phone call on August the 6th?
Oh, that's right. You know what? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Put it on the list.
I'm going to put it on the... I wish I knew what I do with my list. I had a list, and then I lost my list, and it's me.
You don't have an iPhone?
I have a Galaxy, Samsung Galaxy.
My iPhone, I have a notepad, and I've got notes in there from years and years.
I have a notepad, too, but yeah. I never think about using it. And also, real quick, visitation update. The visitation, I think someone mentioned that earlier. Visitation will be conducted even though CrowdStrike is currently causing global computer outages.
Is it still doing that, or was that over with today?
I don't know. It was still doing it when I left work.
Everybody was complaining at work today.
Starbucks. I could not get Starbucks. Have I mentioned this enough? Starbuckles, as Ray said. Starbuckles.
So Buzzy Martin has a new song, and I was going to play it tonight.
Well,
you want to play it?
Play it.
Welcome to the Duluth Nether Weather Update. Today's temps will be taking a turn for the bit too toasty with sodden sweat advisory.
I can't play that. So I guess we'll have to play Charlie and the Regrets.
Okay. Maybe, yeah. Isn't this a great night? It is a fabulous night. We had someone knocking at the door earlier.
Yeah, who was that?
He wanted to volunteer, but he had his toothbrush and his wash rag. So.
How did he get in?
The pedestrian gate was open. All right. You guys ready for Charlie now?
We're ready.
It's man sitting on the road. Try to keep your heads up, you ain't deep if you got hope. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. Prison radio. Broadcasting hope. The radio show.
You're listening to KPFT Houston. Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Team. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped to represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas, obtain parole, and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. More information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, can be found on their website at parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
And here we are again, 713-526-5738, option number 2, to leave a shout out to your loved one. And we have Annalisa first.
Good evening, everyone. It's Annalisa. I hope you are doing well. This is my shout out for my friend. Hello, Isidro. I hope you are well. I hope that the situation is getting back to normal with the power, connection, and everything. I hope it's not too hot. I remember last year when I was there, it was really hot. I hope it's getting better soon. I'm well, all is good, and here today is a bit hot as well, but not that much. I send you my best wishes and big hugs. Take care, my dear friend. Take care, everyone. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Annalisa. And now we have Jim Carey, a.k.a. Stephen, on line 2. Hey, Stephen. Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you sound really sexy there. How you doing?
I got a boyfriend to support.
Yes, you do.
I get an earful every day, too, over it.
I don't doubt it.
I know you guys had a nice dinner tonight, but I got some chicken fried steak for the first time in about 15 years, and it was good.
It was good?
Yeah, and I'm finally free. I'm home. I'm not home, but I'm almost there. I'm in the halfway house. So this long journey's just about over. And Miss Linda is waiting for me.
Yes, I am.
So she can get a break from her husband, David.
Yes, I've got so much work at the ranch. I need help, so I'm really glad you're coming there to live with us.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to be all right. What a mess the Federal Bureau of Prisons is, fellas and girls.
I've never. I thought TDC was bad, but the Federal Correctional Institution in Coleman, Florida, is an absolute disaster.
And we have some men from the federal prisons around here. They listen to us.
I know. They listen to you from Beaumont, and they listen to you from the Federal Detention Center downtown.
Oh.
And I'm sorry?
I didn't know. I didn't realize it was. I thought just the one in Beaumont. I didn't know the one downtown.
No, there's a big center downtown. It's probably about a 13-story building full of inmates.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But the trip over from Florida was, I would say it was the best days of my life because I got to hug my daughter again after 27 years. And my co-author, who I write with, also flew in from San Diego, and both of them accompanied me back to Texas. And I don't think I could have got here if it hadn't have been for their help. My mobility issues, I'm not using the wheelchair anymore. I'm walking now, but I still have limits on how far I can walk. And that Dallas airport from C terminal to E terminal was not for me.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough in the Dallas airport.
It was horrible. And all of that humanity that's walking through there kind of drove me crazy or got me anxiety-ridden. Because I hadn't been around people that much where they were so concentrated. And we only had an hour to make the connection. But we made it. Yeah. I'm sorry?
That was rough. Just an hour?
Oh, yeah, because we had to go from Terminal C all the way to Terminal E. And that was a good little walk.
Yeah.
But Lawrence and Stephanie said, this is not working. You need to get in the chair and let me push you, and we'll get there on time. If you don't, they're gonna be looking for you. So I said, no, I'll get in the chair. Let's go. We just barely made it. We only got there 10 minutes before the flight left, and the flight was only 18 minutes. Why the Bureau of Prisons didn't just let us let me go to a rental car with Stephanie driving is beyond me, but that's the way it is.
Well, we're glad you're here. You're back, and I know you have some shout-outs, right?
Oh, yeah. I've got some shout-outs for Curtis Robertson, CJ, Ricky Smith, Troop over at Polunsky Unit, Sonny Wilson, Puerto Rico. You're out of there, Puerto Rico. I've got a new boyfriend. I'm the only person that can go to prison and find somebody. And I found Raven 10 months ago. And we've been getting along ever since. Let's see, who else is out there? Warden Dickerson, or Director Dickerson. You're my hero. Director Dickerson was the person who got me out of SEG. And without his help, I don't think I would have ever made parole. He won't commit that he contacted parole, but I strongly suspect that he did. And just getting out of SEG, I want to tell the guys that are in SEG, don't give up hope. Even if you've been there a long time, I stayed there 27 years and hadn't had a case in 15 years. So I still stayed there, and finally my day came, and Warden Dickerson told me it was time. I'd been beat up long enough. So I got a real special shout out for him, and I hope he or one of his assistants are listening to the program. And I'll be coming down there with Linda for the show just as soon as I can. I'm probably about a month out before I can go home to the ranch there in Wortham with Linda and David. And I'm looking forward to a change of scenery. What's been the hardest for me since I got here is my co-author bought me about a $2,500 computer, and I am struggling trying to learn this thing. And then my daughter, I heard you mention Galaxy a while ago, Dani. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether I like Android or not, but now that I've got all this stuff on it, I think I might as well keep it. So I'm going to be calling you, Dani, and getting your help trying to figure out some of these options.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love my Galaxy.
I know you do. That's what Linda told me, and she also told me that you hated the iPhone.
I can't stand it.
And I love the iPhone.
I'm going to have to break you up with some of your boyfriends that call you at night so I can get a call through.
I don't know there, Stephen. I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know if you can do that.
Oh, I don't think I can either because I'm chasing after a different group.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
I'm about as straight as a question mark.
That's awesome. Yes.
So what's going on there? Is it everything going good? I see Sheila Jackson Lee died tonight.
What? Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I just saw it. It just popped up
What
on
happened?
she had cancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it just came on. Breaking news, Houston Chronicle just said. So those of you who didn't know, Sheila Jackson Lee has passed away.
Breaking news.
Yep, very sad. Very sad.
Well, I'm going to get off your phone and I'll see Linda tomorrow night. She's coming to visit.
Yep, I'll be there. I'll be there this week, the whole weekend. Actually, we'll be at the ranch, and then probably Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I will be seeing you every day.
You can come every day, Linda.
I know. Well,
every
we are.
Day you can
We're
come.
coming. It's only 40 miles from the ranch, so it's no big deal. It's just like driving from my house to Danny's house.
And make sure those hangers are not square, oblong, or round.
Yeah.
We had a good laugh about that. I said, what is he kind of hangers does he think I have?
When you told me it was a laundry basket that you were talking about, I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize they came different. I always got them rectangular. So
they have square ones and they have round ones.
Just make sure it's not too big.
Okay.
'Cause I got to put it under my bunk.
I've got your list of everything you need. I'm going to go to Walmart tomorrow morning because I'm leaving as soon as I get off here tonight at midnight. We're leaving for the ranch. We'll get there about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God!
I know.
Is David? You're not going to go to sleep with David driving, are you?
No, I'm going to drive.
Oh, and he's going to sit in the passenger seat?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I feel better about that. I hope nobody woke you up this morning.
I think somebody did.
Yeah, I think his name is Stephen.
Stephen Russell.
Well, I got a text message from her, Dani, and the text message said 6:11 a.m. So I said, well, damn, she's up. I might as well go ahead and call her.
Oh, my God.
Guess what? She was not awake.
No.
Then why did she text you?
What did she text me?
I said, why did she text you 6:11 p.m. if she wasn't awake?
No, 6:11 a.m.
Oh, yeah, I know, but
I didn't text him.
Oh, I thought he said that she texted you at 6:11 a.m.
Well, she had texted me the night before because we were trying to send a email to Raven, and it didn't come through. I guess that outage affected my tablet too, right? I mean, my cell phone or whatever you call this thing, smartphone. And it just didn't come in until this morning. So I thought, well, she's up. I get up about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. So I didn't want to be lonely. So I decided to have a conversation with somebody that was asleep.
I ain't giving you my number.
Already gave it to him.
Damn.
Oh, and guess what? I'm getting ready to read it out over the air.
Hell no.
You're going to have hey, Danny, you're going to have all kinds of men calling you, right?
Well, thank you, Stephen. We have some other callers to get to, but I'm sure I'll be hearing from you. Yay!
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
And always take care, y'all. I'll be seeing you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, now we have Tanya from Massachusetts.
Tanya.
Tanya. Okay, sorry
Tanya
about
Payne. Oh, that's okay. I'm from Tennessee originally. I've never done a shout out. This is my first one, and I didn't know you couldn't do it for the ladies. Melissa and Darlie are dear friends that I have worked for over the years. I'm so proud Melissa's going to be getting out soon. I've always said they should just open the doors and let her leave. So that's looking good. So I'm sending a shout out to them. Hopefully somebody will tell them. I hope our effort for climate control will prove effective with all this heat.
Yes.
To end the dangerous extreme weather that's been going on. I know y'all have had a lot of storms down there. Mm-hmm. And but I also send shout outs to Rob Will, Rodney Reed, and also to all the death row inmates that are there due to the law of parties. That's my real pet peeve, is the law of parties. I hate that law. I've worked my tail off to try to put an end to it, so I'm hoping I can make a dent with the people I work with. And, let's see. I made a few notes here because I've never done this. I freely use my voice in activism and advocacy for not only my wrongfully convicted on death row, because that's what most people know me for, is working strictly for wrongfully convicted, but for all of you sleeping behind bars tonight. And I don't envy you in this heat. I tell you what, I'm in Massachusetts, and it's been 90 degrees up here. Just keep your hope strong. Don't ever lose hope. That's that's the big thing. And know that all of us warriors out here are out here working for you and fighting for you, and we'll continue to do that. And I just send love and light to everyone that's behind bars tonight. And tomorrow will be a better day, and just don't lose hope.
Well, we thank you, Tanya. Now, keep in mind, we will be reaching the women's units soon, because we're going to be on the tablets. So
yeah, I'll be so happy.
Yes, we will too. We're so excited. We appreciate you calling, and we hope you call back next week.
And thank y'all for all you do. I'm just so happy to be able to watch you live for a change.
Well, thank you so much for calling.
Okay. Y'all have a great night.
You too. Okay, now we have Lydia on line 3. Hi, Lydia.
Hi, Dani. Can you hear me, Dani?
We sure can.
Okay. Well, tonight we have a full moon tonight, and it's beautiful. Yeah, it's very beautiful. It's and I just want to give a shout out to my son, Beto, and wish my son a happy birthday. I will not give the number out, but wish my son a very happy birthday.
Yay, happy birthday.
And, yes. And Beto had me look up. I know that the guys are having trouble with ants, all kinds of ants.
Yes.
Yes, and I Googled it, and there's so many, especially the powders, like the talc and cinnamon, which I know you all don't have, but talc and salt, coffee grounds. What else did I tell? Oh, aspartame, the stuff that's in the sweetener, the sugar sweetener.
Oh, yeah. Like Sweet and Low?
Is that the way you put? Yeah, it's aspartame or something like that. But that stuff too is helpful. And salt, also vinegar. But I know you all don't have vinegar, so I know Bethel was telling me that it's horrible that they don't get any sleep because of the ants biting them and all that. But I thought I'd share that with you all. Okay.
Thank you so much for that. Because several units have been complaining about the ants, not just Polunsky.
Yeah, it must be the rain, the amount of rain that they've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Probably is. Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah, but I thought I'd share that with you all. And like I said, I just want to wish my son a very happy birthday, and I'll see him on Thursday, God willing. Okay? And you all take care, and Linda, drive carefully. I don't know what you're doing out at driving so far.
I'm okay. I'm still young.
Okay, but you be careful, Linda. Y'all take care. Thank you for all you do for us.
Okay.
Linda and Danny and Dave. Okay, thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Good night, everyone. You all too. Good night.
Good night. And happy birthday to you. All right, now, Eva Maria.
Hello, this is a message from Eva Maria from Germany. I would like to greet my pen friend Rodolfo Medrano and all his friends, fellow inmates, and all those listening to this show. And I would especially like to greet Big White. Dear Big White, Rodolfo told me about you and about your great work with the Bible study group. I believe you learned a lot yourself and you helped to grow others to grow in faith and did a great work. I pray especially for you in your situation. I pray for you and all your beloved ones. And I lighted a candle for you in Germany in a small church in the Black Forest. And you and all your friends and relatives are in my prayers. God bless you all. You are not forgotten. And I also would like to greet those who have no friends or relatives outside bars. And I also would like to tell you, I pray for you and others are praying for you. I wrote you into the prayer book and all of you are not forgotten and your names are written in heaven. God bless you all. Eva Maria.
All right, that was an uplifting message. Thank you very much. All right, now we have Gloria.
Hi.
Hey, Gloria.
Hello. How are y'all doing?
Doing good. How was the event today?
Listen, it was really awesome. They had a lot of knowledgeable people speaking, and the panel that Pam and I spoke on about prison conditions was, whoa, just listening to people that had done, like Pam, 40 years, and one woman I think had done 2 or something, but all of the stories were compelling, absolutely compelling. You know what? I have to say, I forgot to turn on the prison show at 9 because I'm watching the Astros and they're winning.
Yay!
And if they're playing the team that's barely ahead of them. So if we win tonight, I think we're going to be in first place in our division. anyway, it's 3-0, and I can't see my TV from here. I think fifth inning. Danny, I'm assuming that y'all talked about the stay of execution tonight.
Oh, yeah. We mentioned that a few times.
You know, well, I want to just tell Ruben, you will never know how shocked and happy all of us were to get that news.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out something that really made me furious. I found out that the Supreme Court rarely grants stays of execution. Last year, in 2023, they got petitions, I think it was for 26 executions, not just Texas, but around the country, and granted one. So, you know, the Supreme Court is the most... it's the most... Yeah, I really can't say.
No, don't do it, Gore.
Yeah, I know. But it is the most undemocratic institution around.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have? How can they not? Well, anyway, in Ruben's case, Ruben had filed and won in the federal district court to get DNA testing, which he's been asking for, I don't know, 10, 15 or more years. And the federal court granted it. But then the Fifth Circuit said, oh, no. So the Supreme Court's going to have to decide if I think the Fifth Circuit said the federal court didn't have jurisdiction, whatever. Why? And then another interesting thing that I read about after the stay, when I was reading the millions of articles that came up about Ruben's case, was they have like fingernail scrapings and a hair and different things that have never been tested. But when his lawyers asked about the hair, they said, oh, well, we don't know what happened to it. Well, the new attorneys he got, this group outfit, I believe, out of Pennsylvania.
Yes, Pennsylvania.
Found the hair in the DA's file.
Yeah.
So, you know, the whole system is disgustingly corrupt. The DAs lie, the cops lie. Oh, it's infuriating. But thank heavens, hopefully this will be resolved and there will be DNA testing and Ruben won't be under sentence of death ever. Amen. I wanted to give a shout out to Big White. Dude, I'm thinking about you. You know, I'm not religious, so I'm not going to tell you I'm praying, but I've got my Frida Kahlo candle lit. And if you don't know who Frida Kahlo is, ask somebody. I guess y'all can't Google. Robert Robertson, the petitions are going around like crazy for you. I hope they help. This whole thing is ridiculous. Spider, when you called me earlier, I'm assuming that was you, my phone had died. So I found out after I finally got back home and plugged it in that you had called. So I'm sorry I missed it. Give me a call sometime tomorrow, I guess. And T, what a great visit we have. I look forward to seeing you soon. And send me all the stuff that you said you were going to send me. Danny, I have a question. Are there a bunch of people on the phone waiting on me to shut up?
No, just a couple.
Oh. Okay. I got the most amazing writing, and I used it today to talk about prison conditions when I was on this panel that the Texas Prison TP, the 85 to Stay Alive group.
Right.
At the event they had. And I read it, and Nathan Williams wrote an incredible thing. It was called The Storm, the Seventh Day. And maybe I'll call back later when there's not people waiting, because I would love to read it. It is so good.
Absolutely.
About what happened.
Call back.
In that hurricane.
And you know what? Maybe if you if it's typed out, we could put it on the Prison Show's Facebook page too.
It is typed out. In fact, I handed out. I put a flyer together and handed it out today, and I put pictures of Nathan at the bottom from when he was a little baby to growing up and now. I can email the text to you, and then you can put it up. And I need to put it up on our page as well. But it's pretty powerful. So, David, call me or text me when there's nobody waiting, because it's probably 3 or 4 minutes. It's a full page.
Okay, we'll text you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And to all my other friends, hello, and I am just so thrilled about Ruben getting to stay. I can't tell you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, now we have Caitlin.
This is a shout out for Beto Garza in Plonsky. Hey boo, how are you? I hope that you're in good health and spirits, staying safe, and that there's a smile on your handsome face. As for me, things are okay. I'm here at home today, and I'm here with Daytona, and she is right beside me. Yeah, she's nearly sitting on my shoulder at this point, but yep, she's right here. It's raining here. Yeah, it's been raining here for the last 2-3 days. Yeah, and it's one of those like dreary days with the sky is grey, and I'm thinking I just want to see sunshine. Other than that, yeah, everything is going good. I'm going to go up to Buddy tomorrow, and yep, that's about it. I'm going to also write you an email today, and yeah, so please stay safe. Thank you being here for me, and know that I appreciate everything that you do. So good night, sweet dreams, and stay safe. And to everybody at the Prison Show, a big, big thank you for making this happen.
All right. Thank you, Caitlin. And we have Patty on line 4. Hi, Patty.
Hey, hi. This shout out is from Humberto Garza. Hey, mijo, tia Patty here. Just wanted to say I hope you have a blessed birthday, mijo. And I remember a card you sent me for my birthday years ago that said there were too many candles on the cake that I might start a fire. So I'm returning the favor. I'm not going to say how old you're going to be, but know that we love you, we miss you. Theo Jr. and I and one of his co-workers are going to go fishing tomorrow at Fort Mansfield. Hopefully we'll catch something. And if we don't, we still have a great time. I wish you were here. Like I said, Albert's going fishing also at Fort Mansfield. We're going to meet him about 6:30 in the morning. Anthony is doing great. Amanda finally got her light back on Wednesday, I believe, in the afternoon. And then a short while later, somebody crashed and the light went out again. So she was upset. But anyway, they got it back like an hour and a half later. We love you, mijo. Just know you're in our prayers. And pick up your head. Smile, mijito. You have a lot of people out here praying for you, and everyone, for everybody that's sick and prison, homeless, we're praying, mijito. God is good. We love you, and thank you to the Prison Show for making this happen. Good night, guys.
Good night, Patty. Have a great weekend. All right, now we have Sugar Pom Pom on line 1.
Oh my goodness, Sugar Pom Pom. Hi, this is Leslie. I'm shouting out to my sugar pom-pom at the Styles unit. He knows who he is. I will see him tomorrow. I guess the tablets are messed up because I haven't heard from him today. I don't know if it's because he's mad at me once again, but it's the norm.
It's that outage everybody's got.
Man, I hope so. Anyways,
it's worldwide.
Oh, I mean, he sent me a text this morning talking about be blessed. So I don't know what that meant. Anyway, it's the lovers' quarrel. We do this every like 2 or 3 weeks. You know,
yes,
maybe once a month. Yeah, it's very stressful, and I'm honestly, it's getting old real quick.
Yeah,
but anyways,
you don't get the best part, which is making up.
No. Mm-mm. Anyways, it's just been a struggle, and I've just been trying to pray about it. But I know that he has a special place in my heart, and I thank Dani for allowing this to happen. I mean, to taking me to, anyways, to go see my sugar pom-pom.
Of course.
Yes. But I love the prison show, by the way, and I'm on the road to getting my car fixed here pretty soon.
Yay!
So, yay! Yeah. Yay. So, anyways, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. I got to get some beauty rest for tomorrow morning. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
All right. Well, sugar pom-pom, I love you. Kisses. All right. Bye, you guys. Good night.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Now, we Mysterious Mike, who's not so mysterious.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike for the Prison Show. I'm going to do my shout-outs. The guys at Texas, Guy Alexander, Jamie Cuppett, Stephen Russell, Stephen McGee. Shout-out for Philip Perez. Lucy and Michelle want me to do a shout-out for Paul. Shout-out for Jovan, Matt, Thomas, Edward Reeves, Adam Wilkerson. Shout-out for Aaron Vasquez. Shout-out for Haas. Shout-out for Keith Money. Shout out for Tasha. Tasha wants me to do a shout out for Payday. Shout out for Oz. Shout out for Curtis Robertson. And shout out for Blaine Milan. Special shout out for Clarence Lee Bowman. Hopefully you're doing much better. Shout out for Bill R. Sims. And shout out for Raymond Lee Cart. You can write to Mysterious Mike in care of David Collingsworth. And hope everybody has a good weekend. And now back to the prison show.
And we haven't mentioned the address lately, which is 226 Chipmunk Trail, Shepherd, America, 77371. So you can write to Mysterious Mike at that address, or anyone here at the prison show. So, we have Stacy. Stacy, I didn't see Stacy.
This is to my husband, Sporty Black at Wainwright Unit. Hey, baby love, this is kissing you our strength and our Friday night tuck you in. I love you so much. Baby, it's just been a paced day out here. Missing you too much. I've been on the machine typing up the last 2 posts I've had. One was the AP and one was the VP. I published them on our platforms. Plus, I'm working on the AP and VPTs we spoke on PM. The girls are behaving, and Mimi and I got a respite from the insane triple-digit heat. Yeah, it's nice out there. Upper 70s, lower 80s. No AC or fan today. So, yeah, it's not been needed. Mom's as well. She came by with the food, and she's going to go shuck corn tomorrow. Yeah, it's garden season. Boo, you're about to call soon. You all up in my ear, and I can't wait. Stay healthy and safe. Remain focused and tough. Know you got me truly. and we're solid, sweetheart. I love you deeply. Mwah. Take care. I love you, baby. Mwah.
All right.
That's a lot of kisses.
Yeah, that's a lot of kisses. So just some updates real quick. Warden Britt at the Estelle unit got promoted. He is now Region 3 Director. Yeah, Region 3 Director, Warden Britt. Well, Director Britt now. And the warden from the Ellis unit was transferred over to the Estelle unit. So Warden Anthony Newton is now warden over at the Estelle unit. And the warden from the Hamilton unit, Bruce Johnson, was transferred over to the Ellis unit. So they've been doing a lot of transfers. Region 1, of course, director is still Daniel Dickerson. And if you didn't know it, we were going round and round about some food issues at the holiday unit. And, it's great. I emailed and he came back with, the typical response. And Brittany, my Brittany, she's awesome. She swooped in with some hard questions for him. So we appreciate that from Brittany. And Holiday Unit, we're on top of it, man. We're trying. Albert Holmes is still director of Region 2. Like I said, Michael Britt, Region 3 director. Region 4 is Angela Shavaya. Region 5 is Lee Townsend. And Region 6 is Jerry Sanchez. So wanted to give some updates for that.
What exactly does the director do?
They oversee, each of these regions have, I think, between 10 and 15 units that they oversee. And when people like me and Brittany make complaints, they run over to the unit and see what's going on. But usually they call before they go. So what's the point of, because they're going to clean it up before they get there, because usually there's takes time to get from Huntsville, where they're located, or depending on where the region is. If we called or emailed Dickerson about an issue at the Polinsky unit, it's going to take a minute to get over there, or anywhere, because even though they're located in Huntsville, it does take a minute to get to the different units. So, it does take time, so usually they call that unit prior to them getting there. And we're just asking for, hey, why don't you make some surprise visits? How about that? Anyway.
So they're not like the warden's boss?
Yeah, they're over. So they're
the warden's warden.
They're the warden's warden. And then these guys have the directors. These are the regional directors, and they have directors over them. And then, of course, they have Poppy Lumpkin and
Brian Collier.
No, Lumpkin. Bobby Lumpkin is over all the. This is the CID division. So anyway, I think Linda has some shout outs. Go ahead, Linda.
I sure do. Okay, I want to say hello to Joel White, Michael Moyers, Thomas Miller L., Paul DeVoe, William Owens Sr., Jaime Cole. Jaime, I finally got the computer to work today, so I got all your stuff done. Franklin Davis, Will Spear, Cedric Marks, Robert Satterfield, Robert Solis, Lucky Ward, Ronald Haskell, William Hudson, Juan Balderas, Blaine Milam, Paul Story, Walter Sorto, Robert Roberson, Britt Ripkowski, Charles Hill, Dwayne Buck, Tyrone Williams, Kenneth Decker, Iron Thunderhorse, Curtis Robertson, Stephen Curry, Eugene Broxton, Marcus Drury, Troy Glover, Bill Sims, Paper Cup at the Estelle Unit, Midget Titan at Estelle Unit, Gregory Allen at the Dieball unit, and Jedediah Reed at the Luther unit. Good night, guys. Y'all have a great week.
All right. And now I want to do a few things to one of my best friends, Farron, of course, at the Polonsky unit, Rodrigo. How you doing, Rodrigo? Eugene Broxton, T. It was down today, but I gotcha. King Bighead, Blaine, Mayo, Toot, Leroy. Hey, Leroy, over at the PAC unit. Michael Ferguson. I keep missing your call. Sorry. Larry at the Huntsville unit. Kenneth Decker, Joel White, Leo Willis, Joe Don, Chucky, and Jay at the Win unit. Of course, Rexalicious, and CJ, Paper Cup, and Midget Titan, and Bull at the Estelle unit. Great big hellos. And as a reminder, just to remind everyone, according to TDCJ and their heat directive, they're required to provide you water at all times. They are required to provide ice, and this must be replenished on a regular basis as needed. Fans for offenders in all custody levels to include restrictive housing and disciplinary status where electrical outlets are available. Showers. Of course, they have to give you, they're not giving y'all any showers anyway, but additional showers for offenders when possible with lowered water temperatures for single temperature showers in housing areas, and respite. If the unit is over 90 degrees, incarcerated individuals can request respite 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Y'all do not forget that. And I also have copies of the grievance, step 1 and step 2 for any heat-related issues. TPCA made that possible. So I could definitely get that to you or anyone with TPCA if you know someone. Definitely make sure you ask for that. Now, again, we mentioned it earlier. We got a letter concerning the water. Like I said, I have donated to get water inside. I know Tifa has gotten donated a bunch of water to get inside. I know a few years ago, like I said, around the Ramsey unit, they needed water and fruit pops. So we were just informed by this letter that y'all aren't getting it. So if you aren't getting it, let us know. Or if you are getting it, let us know that too, because that makes, we know that it's actually working in there. And, one of my friends at the Estelle unit was telling me about an issue that he had at the Telford unit where an officer beat him while he was handcuffed. And he didn't have anyone on the outside to assist him filing a lawsuit. He did it on his own, and he actually won the lawsuit, if y'all can believe that. And the officer, she was a sergeant at the Telford unit, lost her job. So sometimes it works, and he actually won his lawsuit too, and he got a little compensation, but of course nothing compares to having, what she did to him was horrendous, because he did suffer injuries because of what she did.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm sure it happens at more units than we know about. Right, David?
I'm sure it does. What do you want me to say?
I don't know. Did you see something? Did you work with me here, David?
I'm texting folks trying to get some callers, and Gloria wanted to read something, but yet she's MIA too. I guess the Astros are just really doing good.
Yeah, she doesn't really.
She's an Astros fan. I get it.
Oh, she's a hardcore Astros fan. Yeah. Oh, the FCC voted. That's what I was going to read. Rate caps on calls from incarcerated people will be lowered based on a rule the FCC voted to pass during a Thursday meeting. Now, of course, this will probably affect the jails more so, but the new rules would lower the cost of a 15-minute phone call to 90 cents from as much as $11.35 at a large jail and $1.35 from $12.10 at a small jail. The phone's ringing, David.
Cool.
He has this factor. So, and those rules will also apply to pricing structures for video calls, too. So, both of the calls should be lowered soon. I'm not sure how that will affect Securus. You know, we're just hoping that Securus stays on, keeps our phone calls going. Okay.
You think they're going to cut them off?
Well, Securus rarely works. I mean, you know.
That's why they're $1 billion in debt.
Probably. I'm like, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Gloria.
Anyway. Okay, Astros are still winning. The Storm, The Seventh Day by Naaman Williams. The first shot shook me from my sleep. When the window exploded, glass and rain sprayed across the prison dorm, startling everyone. The second explosion made everyone scramble with nowhere to run as 70-mile-per-hour winds increased, and I was trying to tie my sheet across the window. Then a tree as wide as a car crashed into the building as razor-lined wire ripped across the prison. When the news reported that Hurricane Beryl was headed to coastal Brazoria County, Ramsey Unit Administration prepared to evacuate us. Then, nothing but chaos that erupted across the 12 cell blocks in the prison. The Ramsey prison unit was built on an old slave plantation in 1908. It was originally built to house the most violent Texas prisoners in permanent solitary confinement, and it became known as the Bloody Ramsey due to the mounting number of dead bodies found in the old red brick prison. In the coming decades, things would change, but never the chaos. In most hurricanes, the Brazos River rises and floods the area. Sometimes we make it out in time and we end up sleeping on some prison gym floor for weeks at a time, utterly miserable. But not this time. This time we knew that many guards left their duty posts and just went home. The cell blocks here, they were ghost towns when it came to authority. With the law of the land controlled by wolves, I would only digress from what obstacle this hurricane has created as we tried to survive. The first night, we wondered how many of the 1,200 windows would even remain intact in the dorm. But then the toilets overflowed and sewer water covered the ground. Water rose to several inches as we used brooms to push it downstairs to the dorm below us. We heard the screams of those below us filled with curses. Threats were hurled, and violence could erupt at any time. The following morning, the rain stopped, the heat rose, and as did the unbearable humidity. With the power out, we attempted to clean up as best we could, hoping for some reprieve. None came. When darkness came with night, we could not see the movement of our own hands in front of our face. And the smell, the sweat that dripped from us, the dizziness that came to some, made us realize that this was about our survival. Some inmates had heat exhaustion and did not wake. They would be taken in a van to the nearest hospital. We will never know their fate, and their death will never be documented anywhere. Amidst the chaos, beautiful moments arose. Some of us found ourselves not being black or white, Latino, gang members, but just people. People who shared what food and water we had. People who gave a helping hand instead of a fist. People who had to govern ourselves because we knew that no one gave a damn about us. On the fifth day with no power, men laid on the concrete floor. A few guards appeared to count. Not a single warden, lieutenant, or sergeant came to check on us. We were simply locked in cell blocks or dorms. On the sixth day, Warden Massey did rounds.
I'm sorry, Gloria. We have to close now.
I got one more minute. Well, okay, I'm just going to read the last couple of lines. The seventh day, no power. Even if it was reported on social media, there was no food and water. And so we remain, people overcoming obstacles like others. Some have it worse. We know this too will pass, but we know that some won't make it. Some will fall further into the abyss where only darkness remains. We survive for decades. Some will be free one day, but Bloody Ramsey remains. It makes the strong stronger and the weak weaker. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Gloria.
Okay, bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.
Yep, it's been a great show. We're going to have to close out. We're waiting on DJ Rico Black. He'll be here with the Housetonians. He'll be jamming all night with some techno music and in-house stuff. And we thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a great show, and hopefully we'll see some results from those phone prices going down. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we're going to go out with Charlie and the Regrets like normal. Y'all have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Good night.